Of course. Here is a documentary script on the Battle of Kadesh 1274 BC structured into 10 distinct parts for easy production. Documentary script. Kadesh 1274 BC, the First Great Clash of Empires. Title. Kadesh 1274 BC, the Clash of Chariots and Kings. Part 1. The Prologue, An Age of Empires. Visuals. Sweeping shots of Egyptian pyramids, Hittite rock carvings, maps of the ancient Near East. Narrator. The 13th century BC. The Bronze Age world was dominated by two superpowers, Egypt, the wealthy kingdom of the Nile, and the Hittite Empire, a formidable power from the rugged highlands of Anatolia. For decades, their spheres of influence had been expanding, destined to collide. The spark would ignite over a strategic city on the banks of the Orontes River, Kadesh. Part 2. The protagonists, Ramesses vs. Muwatalli. Visuals. Statues of Ramesses II, Hittite reliefs of Muwatalli II, dramatic recreations of the two kings. Narrator. On one side was the young and ambitious Pharaoh Ramesses II, determined to prove himself a warrior king and restore Egypt's glory. On the other, the experienced and cunning Hittite king, Muwatalli II, who had moved his capital south, poised to check Egyptian expansion. The stage was set for a personal duel fought with entire armies. Part 3. The Prize, Why Kadesh? Visuals. Animated map highlighting Kadesh's location, trade routes, images of the city's ruins. Narrator. But why this city? Kadesh was the gateway to Syria. It controlled vital trade routes and was a symbol of power. For Egypt, losing Kadesh was a humiliating blow. For the Hittites, it was the key to their southern frontier. Reclaiming it was non-negotiable for Ramesses, defending it, essential for Muwatalli. Part 4. The Armies, A Clash of War Machines. Visuals. Side-by-side comparisons of Egyptian and Hittite chariots, infantry, and weapons, graphics showing army composition. Narrator. The two armies represented different military philosophies. Ramesses led 20,000 men in 4 divisions, with fast, two-man chariots for archery. Muwatalli assembled a larger force, perhaps 40,000 strong, with heavier, 3-man chariots designed as shock troops to smash through enemy lines. The quality of Egypt's mobility versus the quantity of the Hittite coalition. Part 5. The March and the Deception. Visuals. Animated map showing the Egyptian march from Egypt, reenactment of the Bedouin spies being captured. Narrator. In the summer of 1274 BC, Ramesses marched his army north at a blistering pace. As he neared Kadesh, his scouts captured 2 Shasu nomads. They claimed the Hittite army was still far away. Eager for a quick victory, Ramesses rushed ahead with only his lead division, Amun, leaving the others strung out behind him. He had fallen for one of history's oldest tricks. The nomads were Hittite spies. Part 6. The Ambush Unleashed. Visuals. Dramatic, chaotic battle scenes. Hittite chariots crossing the river, smashing into the Re division. Narrator. The truth was a nightmare. The entire Hittite army was hidden behind Kadesh. As Ramesses set up camp, Muwatalli sent 2,500 chariots across the Orontes River. They smashed into the 2nd Egyptian Division, Re, which was still on the march. Caught completely by surprise, the Re division was annihilated. The Hittite chariots then turned and charged directly into the Egyptian camp. Part 7. The Desperate Stand. Visuals. Ramesses rallying his troops, fierce fighting around the camp, the pharaoh depicted heroically as in Egyptian reliefs. Narrator. Chaos consumed the Egyptian camp. Surrounded and outnumbered, defeat seemed inevitable. But here, Egyptian accounts immortalize Ramesses's personal valor. They portray him single-handedly charging into the fray, his royal bodyguard at his side. Buying time with their lives, they fought a desperate, close-quarters battle against the overwhelming Hittite force. Part 8. The Miracle, Reinforcements Arrive. Visuals. Egyptian reserves Nearan arriving from the coast, hitting the Hittite flank. Narrator. Just as the Egyptian line was about to break, a miracle occurred. A force of elite Egyptian troops, the Nearan, arrived from the coast, striking the Hittites in the flank. At the same moment, the remnants of the shattered Re division and the arriving Ptah division began to press in. The Hittites, who had broken formation to plunder, were now caught in a vice. Part 9. The Stalemate and the Propaganda War. Visuals. Both armies disengaging, Egyptian temple carvings showing Ramesses as a giant towering over fallen Hittites. Narrator. The battle ended in a bloody stalemate. Muwatalli held the city, but his chariot corps was decimated. Ramesses had saved his army but failed to capture Kadesh. Yet, in Egypt, the battle was portrayed as a glorious victory. Temple walls from Abu Simbel to Luxor show Ramesses as a superhuman hero, single-handedly defeating the entire Hittite army. It was a masterpiece of ancient propaganda. Part 10. The Legacy, the world's first peace treaty. Visuals. The actual clay tablet of the treaty from Hattusa, a copy at the UN, peaceful imagery. Narrator. The true legacy of Kadesh emerged not from the battle itself, but from its aftermath. 15 years later, facing common threats and economic exhaustion, Ramesses II and the new Hittite king, Hattusili III, did something extraordinary. They signed a binding peace treaty, promising mutual assistance and non-aggression. A copy of this treaty, the first of its kind in recorded history, today hangs at the United Nations, a timeless testament that even the bitterest of rivals can choose diplomacy over war.